Judge? Yeah, so what happened is my opponent went to start his turn, untapped his permanents, and then he said upkeep, and then he drew his card for the turn. But he forgot about this triggered ability that he has due to a captive audience.
What's your life total? You're at 8?
Yeah.
Okay. So, alright, what would you like to do? What would you like to do? He's pretty much.
It is a missed detrimental trigger. So, just to recap, you say he untapped, went through his upkeep, drew his card, did not do the, and missed his trigger, essentially.
Yeah, he didn't do anything for the captive audience.
Okay, so what we have here is a missed detrimental trigger.
That's not my trigger. Like I went untap upkeep.
This is the Tristani one.
I went untap upkeep.
What is that rule?
I'm trying to tell you some stuff.
I
went untap upkeep, looked at him, drew my card for 2. And now that I've drawn my card, he wants to just miraculously put this trigger on this. Call this trigger.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I need to confer with somebody.
Sure thing.
I need to be 100% sure about this, and I want to make sure that I have exactly right.
Oh yeah, no problem.
So
You can, this is the feature match, so you can like confer in front of the camera and the microphone if you want. That way people can see your thought process.
So I will be right back after I double check with one of my fellow judges.
What do you think?
So
we are not going to.
Yeah, we're not hearing this. We're just like sitting here staring at each other.
yeah, there's.
And you're at 8.
Oh yeah, we're definitely dead this turn.
I don't know. I have
You have
one
like
flyer. And
mostly anything.
you have. I have a flyer. That's a 6/6. I'm 2 damage short.
Yeah, you're sure. Hope you don't have any of those burn spells in the format that.
It has like no burn spells.
There's got to be like some kind of like.
Because Tristani.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what, YouTube. I'll pull one up if there is one. It'll be on the screen like right over right over there.
Here?
Right over there. Yeah.
There is some weird ruling where the owner of that credit becomes responsible.
That's why I love editing. Magic, right?
Even though the controller already exists. And I want to make sure that we get that wording down because it is a very meticulously worded rule that is very confusing when I first read it. And it took me a while to understand it, and I still, to my knowledge, I can't, it's not a rule I just can regurgitate. You gotta get them, wasting way too much time. Alright, guys. We're back. After double checking and conferring with my judges, this is a missed detrimental trigger. Even though your opponent is the owner of the card, you are the controller of the card. It is your responsibility to remember the triggers of permanents you control. The infraction committed here is missed detrimental trigger. This infraction comes with the penalty of a warning. However, because you are not the controller and the owner, this infraction cannot be upgraded, or will. there is no upgrade.
That's the only thing we have to do.
No?
Ask him if he has another
So,
Right, you're right.
I have a few words to add to that.
Okay.
Side note, let me know whenever you want to like break out of like the role playing.
Oh yeah.
So, like the thing I disagree with here is like this is not my card. I don't play with this card.
Right.
And so like I'm pretty sure it's his job to make sure. And the fact that like I looked at him dead in the face and said upkeep. He said nothing. I drew a card and then he called a judge. Like he's trying to get me to discard 2 cards.
So wait, it is. Back up.
I think
just
he's-
one second. Are you? Whose turn is it?
It's my turn.
It's your turn. So you say upkeep.
Right.
Were you aware that this was on the field at the point that you entered the beginning of your upkeep? Were you?
I mean, like I gave him zombies. My life's at 4.
And so it's been on the field for 3 turns. This time, you, and so your life total became 4. You gave him the 5 zombies, and now, so this upkeep, you presumably you just missed the trigger was missed. Is
Right.
what-
Like I was looking over all my other stuff with the card in my hand. I'm like, all right, how do I win this turn? When untap upkeep, draw a I'm pretty sure that it's his card. He's the one that has to.
At this point, I need to get you guys playing Magic again.
This is a very serious thing that's going to impact the whole rest of the game.
I understand. If you want, if you are you're more than welcome to appeal to the head judge. If you disagree with my ruling, I have to finish giving my ruling. My ruling is you are the controller of this permanent. It is a missed detrimental trigger, which comes with a warning. For the penalty of that infraction, since it is since it is not too late, we offer your opponent the option of putting that ability on the stack at this point, and that is my ruling. As I said, you seem very upset. I understand that the ramifications of this. If you would like a second opinion, I would be more than happy to go get another judge to confirm it, to give his ruling for it.
Is that a part of your?
All right, so that's like the end of the ruling phase. Now we can start the talking about it phase. So
I sensed intent based on his description that he was intending to skip it in order to gain an advantage.
oh, by the way, guys, if you're at a real event and you're like shadowing the judge taking a call, and you think that they're saying something that like doesn't take all the information into account, or you think that you may disagree with the ruling they're about to give, you can say like at that time before they deliver a ruling, like,
Hold on.
you know, maybe would you like to confer? I have something else I want to ask the clerk. So you can bring that stuff up. It's not like bad form to butt in if you have something you think might change the outcome of the call. So with that being the case, the two of you have any stuff you'd like to add, or maybe anything you'd like to add or bring up or question either of us about?
The thing that I would add outside of the actual situation of what we're discussing is that based on his description, it sounded like his intent was to miss it in order to gain an advantage. Which to me sounds like it almost like intentional as a form of cheating to kind of like doom blading your rectos. You know it's black, but if they don't catch it, you're hoping it's off the field and that you can win before they realize something went wrong. I don't know if this is the same.
I get what you're saying.
What I think what he's saying is he wants to investigate for cheating. So for like the potential of a disqualification because there's an intent, there's an advantage and
I would, you know, if I had to redo it, I think I would agree with the both of you because he demonstrated that he needed to do these things. He did two things.
He demonstrated that he recognized
Twice.
They paused and looked at his opponent and waited.
and then
And then you're right. And then he changed his story when things got a little more serious. As he said,
I didn't change anything in the story. I told you the same story. It's a matter of like, so what are the three things you need to disqualify someone for cheating?
they need to
knowingly breaking the rule.
They need to have broken a rule.
Break the rule.
They need to have done it intentionally to gain an advantage.
There you go.
And I saw all three.
I think I have a lot to learn from the newly minted judge. I want
So
to.
judging is a floor, not a ceiling. Side note, who do you think actually wrote the rule?
I believe you did. I believe that you, because you, after hearing what my fellow judges have said, I believe that you demonstrated that you are aware that the card was there, as evident by the zombies, and you mentioning that you changed your life total to 4. You made very clear indicator that you looked at your opponent to see if he would call you on the trigger. He didn't. You drew your card. You knowingly skipped the trigger.
So, but again, whose trigger is it?
It is your trigger. You are the controller of the card. He is the owner, but you are the controller of the card.
All right, so that's correct. It is a correct statement that the captive audience trigger is Steven's responsibility to remember, and not mine, because Steven is the person who controls the card that creates that trigger. It is. Let's assume then that Steven was cheating, right? We would need to demonstrate or be, reasonably convinced of the following 3 facts: that Steven did something against the rules, that Steven knew what he was doing was against the rules, and that Steven was doing it to gain advantage, right? So right out of the gate, we've got like 2 out of the 3, right? Because we know that intentionally missing the captive audience trigger is not legal for Steven to do. Okay. We also know that given that he missed that trigger, he would be doing it to gain an advantage, because not discarding your cards in your hand would be an advantage. So we've got 2 out of 3. We only need to really focus our attention on the third one. Did Steven know that it was against the rules for him to do what he did?
Is it at this point? Earlier in the tournament, I was given a piece of advice where we would probably at this point want to separate and call him away from the table to discuss this more of a one-on-one as an investigation.
So, one of the things that I kept saying is that it's his card and it's his trigger.
Right.
So that to me, like, demonstrates I don't know that this is supposed to be my responsibility.
So that's trying to alleviate it.
It's not intense. It's not intense.
If they reminded him to do it on each of those turns, like, we don't know how these who remembered to do the buys.
Did he remind me to do these? Did I
Very right.
Yeah, that's a very
So
good point.
that would be an interesting question to ask if you were investigating. And you don't have to separate the players. My like kind of investigation tip would be, don't separate the players until you have a reason to. So in a lot of cases, the players actually want you to come up with the right ruling. Both of them do. And so in a lot of cases, if you have both of the players together, it's easier to remember what happened earlier in the game, because someone will say something and the other person will, in real time, be able to correct that if it doesn't match what they remember happening.
And it's even the thing where it's like, he gave this to me and then asked me on my next upkeep, do you want to give me zombies, go to 4, discard your hand. I'm like, base the board said, I'll go to 4. And then he's like, okay, cool, does his thing, and that could have been something on that line.
Yeah, that's.
And then next upkeep, he says, do you want to discard your hand or make zombies? And I go, well, I like my hand, so I'm gonna make zombies, like zombies. Yeah. And then on my turn, I look at it once I have upkeep.
Dave wouldn't have to remind you, because in his mind, there's only one option for you to choose.
It's right. It's not even necessarily that he has to remind me. It could be that like he's trying to set up a scenario to corner me in a situation where like I'm drawing, like I have 2 cards instead of 1, and that's what he wants to do. And again, like based on what I'm saying, like I didn't know that this was my trigger to remember.
Right. So, in your opinion, of how you represented it, were you representing somebody cheating and trying to get away with it, or somebody who did not know it was their trigger and just is?
I think he's, like my thing is I think he's cheating.
Right. Because he's not reminding you.
Right.
It could be that Dave was cheating because he was trying to set it up his opponent.
But it's not Dave's responsibility.
No, but Dave could still cheat by trying to set up his opponent to cheat. For trying to set up his opponent to look like a cheater. So that is a possibility.
How could you? I mean, like
You have to determine Dave's intent. You have to determine his knowledge. So you have to know, you have to figure out through the investigation whether he reminded him based off, oh, I just wanted to like put it on the stack, or oh, I wanted to play the wrong land.
So another point is something I noticed is that like getting players back to playing Magic is good, and that's a good thing to have in mind. But making sure you're thorough enough and that you're getting the rule correct is more important than getting them playing Magic. Because if we're in like went into top 8 and this is the call, there's obviously very big opportunity for like both of us really to cheat. And if it comes down to like he's been baiting me this whole time and then calls me on it, and I'm like, he's been reminding me, I didn't think this was my trigger to remember. And especially being a recent change, like that's something to consider in the facts.
Oh yeah. So all right, let's think about. We probably should just like go through the investigation like from the beginning. I think. Sure. So there's a few different things that I think is like trigger points in this call that I think is like ideas that I want to stay with you to remember in future calls. So the first thing is context matters a lot in these types of calls. Like it's super easy for someone to forget about a trigger event, right? It happens all the time. So you have to kind of weigh that against how much advantage they get from not remembering the triggered ability, and how much how reasonable it is that they forgot about it this specific time. So if we look back a couple of times, a couple of turns, we established from what we had said earlier that Captive Audience trigger was remembered on turn 1 and on turn 2, but not on turn 3. So that's kind of interesting. That should maybe spark a little curiosity in your judge brain, given that we remembered, and then we forgot. Like if we forgot immediately, that's less suspicious. But remember, and then forget is not like a human consciousness. It doesn't connect very well, right? So that's suspicious point number 1. Suspicious point number 2 is that it's like kind of high stakes, right? So last round of the tournament, maybe we're playing for some prizes and we know it. It's a close game. He's at 4, I'm at 8. We've got a lot of stuff on the board. He's probably like drawing to a few outer. So it's a high stakes kind of a thing, and whether or not he discards his hand could be like really beneficial or detrimental to the result of the game. Right. So that's like trigger point number 2. Trigger point number 3 is that I brought it up after he drew his card for the turn, and that radically changes what the outcome of Captive Audience's result is, right? So it goes from he has 1 card in his hand to he has 0 cards in his hand for his turn.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's actually like another.
I didn't catch that part. You mentioned that before, and I didn't understand. I didn't catch it.
The ruling that I would give is that we would determine whether either player could recognize what card they've drawn for the turn, return it to the back of the library, and then pop the captive.
I can tell you for sure we can't because of the way he's flicking his cards. There's no way.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that we don't back up from missed triggers. Missed trigger.
Even if it's just detrimental.
Yeah. So there's no backups. There's either put it on the stack and then resolve it at
Or
that
it's
time.
just way too far. But he caught it with. That's what I touched on that.
He
He
basically
caught it
waited till
immediately.
he waited till I drew a card next turn.
Yeah.
Because he wanted 2 cards out of his hand,
Instead of one.
and instead of him discarding your card and then drawing.
Even though it's technically an easier fix, you can't miss it.
Right.
Okay.
Because
That's what the policy document says. So that's how.
there's no partial fixes.
Not for two.
I mean, like, in this format, like, adapting. Adapting and putting counters.
All right.
So interestingly enough,
So
the way the scenario is set up, to my knowledge, is that he was the one cheating.
Because he waited.
Well, let's go back a little bit. Okay, so we talked about the 3 things that it's important to know about. You have to do something against the rules. You have to know that what you're doing is against the rules, and you have to be gaining an advantage. Right. So what of those have we established? We already talked about in his case that he didn't know that it was against the rules, so he didn't cheat.
So you would be gaining an advantage by making him discard 2 cards instead of 1.
Okay, that's good.
We would need to investigate for intent and investigate for whether you knowingly waited for him to draw the second card before calling.
Yeah. Okay. And so that's a really big thing that I want to talk to you guys about this call is that like all of the time you talk to him and not to me. Like I basically like never got to talk at all during this call, which is kind of bad form because at least you should say like a passing this is what I'm understanding happened. Would you like to add anything, or would you like to, especially in a contentious case where you could see that he was actively disagreeing with several points in your investigation. So, okay, you guys can investigate a little bit now. What kind of questions would you be interested in asking?
So, how many of the captive audience decisions have been made so far?
So we've gone to 4 on him, and he's gave me the 5 zombie tokens, and the 3rd one's the only one left.
Okay. Who remembered the 5 zombie tokens and the rest?
Oh, I was sure to make sure we got the zombies and got him down to 4.
And what caused us to? What was going on when he moved to his upkeep?
He moved to his upkeep, and then he forgot about his trigger. Then he drew for his turn, and I was like, wait, he forgot about his trigger?
Those are the questions on my side.
Right. And like my response to that is like I gave him time to remind me of the trigger like he had done every turn.
Was there any
really
acknowledgement?
interesting.
Was he looking at you and he looked
Like I was like untap upkeep.
Yeah. Okay, so that's interesting. That's
See now it's
well, that's interesting, right? So like now you've got like something kind of interesting happening because both of us are agree that someone could have said something after he said upkeep, and neither of us did.
it's almost like it's both of their faults because he looked at him to remind him. He looked at him to see if he would remember to do it, and neither of them said anything.
So now you guys have a really interesting
Almost like
point.
both of you are cheating.
But
Okay,
again,
so I
you have
changed
to
my
remember-
behavior. Think about that. Think about how I changed my behavior because on the first 2 I actively reminded him, and on the 3rd one I didn't. So what?
when you were just like,
Yeah. So why do you think that is?
because if you don't say anything and he looks at you and doesn't say anything and then moves to dismiss, he draws an extra card, which would then be an extra benefit to you. If someone said, "Oh, we need to put this trigger on the stack now," you're discarding 2 instead of 1.
Yeah. Okay. So how could you figure that out?
The intent in it.
Yeah. How could you figure out if that was what I was thinking?
and you can just ask questions.
Yeah.
That I
Okay,
Any ideas?
let's ask this question. Hey David, why did you wait until he drew a card to call him on the trigger?
Great question. Great question.
Sometimes they are just like if somebody's cheating. Sometimes they're just dumb enough to just
Well, this isn't dumb enough to tell you. This is like
This is a good
like
question.
they may not have seen what they did was wrong.
Why did you deviate from the established pattern.
Yeah. Okay. So you know, yeah. So that'd be a good question to ask someone because like if they're gonna lie about it, what are they gonna say? Like, what reason could someone make up on the spot that would like correspond with what they did? And also, so like asking like a pointed question like that is a great investigative tool
To see if you can shake somebody up.
Yeah. Like,
And it's not even about shaking somebody up, it's about to get an answer.
yeah,
If I
because
say,
this is
"Hey,
information that's important to you for your investigation.
why did you wait till after you drew the card to call him on the trigger when beforehand you reminded him?"
Oh, well, I wanted him to have to discard 2 cards.
There's your intent. There's your
So you've
intent.
established intent,
You've
established
that you
advantage.
broke a rule.
but like what rule did he break?
He didn't break a rule. That's the
Oh.
Yeah,
Did not
interesting
break it.
question. Yeah.
Well, and that's where my next question to him while we were questioning him was, when you said upkeep and you looked directly at him, was he looking at you or was he looking down at his hand?
Like
Because if he makes eye
we locked
contact and
eyes, we
says,
looked at each other.
Yeah, it was like I looked at him and I was like, "Yep."
like, the acknowledgement is there, that means that there's no misconstrue.
Yeah. No, I definitely understood that we were in his upkeep, and I definitely understood that we were moving to his draw step.
But even so, he didn't break a rule. Even all of that, like, yes, it's scummy. Yes, he angle shot. He still didn't break a rule.
You can give him this too. We're done with our match. We're just talking about
He
stuff that happened.
and that's
after.
and that's what's weird. Dave didn't break a rule. There's not a time like yes, I agree. It's pretty scummy what he did, and he got a really good advantage on it. But he didn't break a rule. It is not Dave's responsibility to remember that trigger. It is the controller's responsibility to remember the trigger.
Do you feel that you broke the rule?
Nope.
So
That's another point. You know, you can ask him.
So he has established intent and advantage. Or I'm sorry, he has established knowledge, intent, and advantage, but has not broken the rule. Whereas I established intent and advantage, but I didn't know.
You've established no intent. You've established you broke a rule and you gained advantage from breaking the rule, but your intent was not to cheat.
Right.
So
did anybody cheat?
no.
Interesting how we got there, because I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be you were cheating.
No. This was in fact the one that I was going for.
That is weird.
Neither one of us cheated.
Because at first glance, like it could have been like
And that's an important thing because like the last 2 times I did this, the investigation I cheated. So the important thing for people to know is that sometimes players do suspicious behavior, but it's not cheating. It's you know, sometimes it's scummy, sometimes it's not entirely sporting, but at the same time it isn't against the rules, so it's legal for them to do. And in a real investigation, you're not going to go in there being like, you know, that Dave guy cheated in the last 2 mock tournaments that he went to. I bet he's going to go for it again this time around.
can I need your pipes?
And then it can even be a thing like, and now that we've moved to this point, we've established that it's a.
Magic players, that is time. Time in your round.
So now that we've established that nobody has
Then there will be
cheated,
5 additional turns.
so now that we've established nobody has cheated due to him not breaking a rule and me not knowing, or not having the like knowledge or intent to really cheat. Now you are correct. We are moving to Miss Trigger. Would you like to put the trigger on stat?
Jeez, man. Yes, that was my game.
I'm gonna respond to the trigger and burn bright. I'll discard my hand and swing you for 8.
Hard.
You're dead.
Hard.
You're dead.
We established in the beginning he was an 8.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did see the room right hand. I'm like, well, at this point it's kind of moot. But still,
I mean-
we have to come to the correct
Yeah,
conclusion.
it is a little bit moot, and you're correct. Sometimes taking a look at cards in hand is relevant. Because, like, do I want this third persistent petitioner? Yeah, I do. Because it gets me close to number 4.
But at the same time,
Right,
with him
but
being
he
at
could-
8, that's more relevant.
Sure, but he could also have a card in hand that kills this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just different lines.
And you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Great, and I don't know what he has in my hand. He doesn't know what I have in my hand.
Yeah. I gotta have some random blocker.
Right, and you just feel like Wild Mikado block.
I mean, at that point, I'd be having to disqualify him from having an illegal card in this tournament, but
Don't know that you know this, bud, but
Well, Ducato,
I'm playing it for Black
got a Ravnica Allegiance card there.
All right, so let's kind of sum up because this is like the process is the most important part, and this is what I always tell people. So step one is figuring out what happened, right? What happened at the table, and we both agree that what happened was we missed the trigger for captive audience. Okay. Step two is you have to establish the how and the why did it happen. Okay, and this is more interesting. We already talked before about like some of the alarm bells that could have gone off in your mind that like I reminded him the last 2 times and then I didn't remind him on the 3rd time. This is the last round of the tournament, so everybody's a little bit more concerned about how we're doing and winning the game. Him discarding 1 card versus him discarding 2 cards is a potentially really big swing down the stretch. So like this is a high impact trigger that got remembered the first 2 times, so it's unlikely that we would remember, and then forget. So like all of that stuff is clues that you can have in your mind that could trigger like a hey, maybe I need to pay more attention to this than to a normal time. Right? So that should like set you out. So we established what happened, establishing the how and the why within that context of this is like a little bit unusual that we forgot about it. Maybe we need to like get some more information. So that gets you on thinking like, did this guy do something against the rules? So now you have to use your IPG knowledge and your MCR knowledge to establish, here's what I think happened, and match that. Did either of us break the rules? What information am I going to need to go to a cheating? All right. So that's the next thing that happens. Once we've established what happens, you have to form in your head like a mental narrative of what led up to this, what the players' ideas were when it was going on, and match what happened with that mental narrative and what information is missing from that narrative to conclude that one or the other player is cheating. So that's the next step. And then after that, what information do we need? And then think about some questions that you can ask the players to figure out what information. Because that's the next step. Is our goal is to get the information that we need, and then put that together with our mental narrative. Maybe you have to like tweak your mental narrative or like change some of it throughout the thing. But that's the last step. Is after we have the most complete mental narrative that we can, we're going to issue our rules based on that, and then we're going to issue the appropriate infractions and penalties. So this investigation hopefully gave you guys a little bit of a taste of what the thought processes could be throughout that, and how that could be applied to an actual judge call. We talked about like all of those steps and how you could use the information from each of those steps to progress to the next step, or what information would be going through in my mind as an experienced judge to try to get myself to the next step if I were doing this investigation. Is there any questions you have about the overall process or the specific application of that process to this specific call?
In my case, I'm more or less just absorbing as much as I can, especially seeing this is the second competitive REL event that I've been involved in, one of which was a shadow over PBTQ.
Yeah.
So I'm essentially absorbing as much as I can.
Yeah, and
Further my knowledge base.
one thing I'm going to point out here is that when you take a judge call, you're going to start running across like routine things like I drew an extra card because my fingers are sticky or whatever. But a point is never rule out cheating, but also never assume it. Because in order to, I don't know if you've ever done the actual process for cheating, it's a lot of paperwork. And like you're going to build a case supporting the DQ, the other players are going to give a statement of what happened, and then it's going to all get looked at and reviewed.
And if they see you as like a DQ heavy person, they're probably not going to have you as a bench.
Not necessarily. It's more of, in this instance, like I was cheating, but he didn't question him, and then once you start talking to him, you realize it's like, oh, he's not cheating, then I'm also not cheating. It's like, but we thought one of us could be. So it's that thing of like, we have to figure out, and we have to deconstruct like mental narrative, like, do I think this person is cheating? If I, as the judge, think the person is cheating, I'm going to start asking questions to try and prove it. And if it's not proving it, then the player's not cheating. Versus if I don't think the player's cheating and I'm asking questions and they start saying things that are, like, dragging me down that way, I'm going to adjust my voice and start asking different questions. And it's a thing that comes with experience doing it more. And, you know, I think this is a really good point to bring up, or not a point to bring up, but a scenario to have you guys run through with this. I think you guys handled it pretty well for the experience level that I've seen. You know, take notes, think about it, compress it, and then
watch it on the YouTube channel.
Watch it on the YouTube channel.
We
That
will
way
have
you-
this video available for you to go through and
judging for the win.
yeah. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share.
This is the point where we ask for money.
We're gonna just debrief.
Yep. That was what we wanted to talk about. Hope you guys had fun. If you have any other questions, find me.
That was a good one.